Life has a strange way of teaching us lessons when we least expect them. Sometimes the universe whispers softly, and sometimes it shakes our entire world until we finally listen. The truth is, all of us carry dreams inside us, some small, some so big, they scare us. But too often, those dreams stay locked in our hearts because we lose focus, we get lazy, or we wait for miracles that never come. Deep inside, we know discipline beats talent, but we keep wasting precious time. And one day, when we finally look back, we regret not having the courage to take control of our journey sooner. Let me tell you a story that may change the way you see time, patience, and the power of focus. In a small town, not very different from yours or mine, lived a boy named Ayan. He wasn't the smartest student in class, nor the most talented. In fact, teachers often shook their heads at him, saying he would never achieve much in life. While other kids excelled in sports, music, or studies, Ayan seemed average in everything. But there was one thing that set him apart. He had a dream so clear it burned inside him. He wanted to start his own business one day, to create something with his own hands, to prove to everyone that he was not just another face in the crowd. Yet dreams, as beautiful as they are not enough. Ayan had the dream, but he lacked discipline. Instead of working on his goals, he wasted time scrolling on his phone, hanging out with friends late at night, talking about success without ever putting in the work. Days slipped into months, and months into years, while his dream sat quietly in a corner of his heart, waiting for him to take it seriously. One evening, Ayan's grandfather called him to sit by his side. The old man was known in the village for his wisdom, and though his voice had grown weak with age, his words still carried power. On the table beside him, there was a large, empty jar. Slowly, he placed some big stones inside. "Ayan," he asked, "is the jar full?" "Yes, grandfather," Ayan replied. The old man smiled and then poured in a handful of small pebbles. They slipped into the empty spaces between the big stones. "Now is it full?" he asked again. "Now it's full," Ayan said confidently. Without a word, the old man picked up a bowl of sand and poured it into the jar. The fine grains filled every remaining gap. He looked at Ayan with eyes full of meaning and said, "My boy, this jar is your life. The big stones are the truly important things, your health, your family, your dreams. If you don't put them in first, you'll never find space for them. The pebbles are the smaller tasks, work, bills, obligations. And the sand is all the distractions, the gossip, the endless hours wasted on things that don't matter. If you let the sand fill your jar first, there will be no room for the big stones." Ayan sat in silence, his heart heavy. For the first time, he realized how much of his life he had wasted on sand. He thought of all the evenings spent scrolling mindlessly, the opportunities he had ignored, the countless hours that had vanished forever. Tears filled his eyes. His grandfather gently placed a hand on his shoulder and whispered, "Discipline, not talent, will shape your destiny. Fix your focus, Ayan. Don't let life pass you by. Failure is not the end, but wasting time is." That night, Ayan couldn't sleep. His grandfather's words echoed in his mind. He made a decision, a single decision that would change his life forever. He would stop waiting for the perfect time to start. He would stop being lazy, stop wasting his energy on things that didn't matter. From the next morning, he would begin his journey. The first step was small. He woke up early, something he had always struggled with. At dawn, when the world was quiet, he sat at his desk and wrote down his goal in clear words. "I will start my own business and make it succeed." He didn't just write it once. He read it aloud every day until it became part of his very soul. At first, it wasn't easy. Old habits pulled him back. Temptations to sleep in, to watch videos, to waste another evening. But each time, he remembered the jar. He remembered the big stones. And slowly, Discipline replaced laziness. Weeks turned into months. Ayan saved small amounts of money from his part-time job. Instead of spending on unnecessary things, he invested in books, online courses, and tools that would help him. He practiced English daily, reading short stories, watching videos, and even speaking to himself in the mirror to improve his confidence. It wasn't perfect, but it was progress. And progress, no matter how small, is powerful. There were days when he failed, days when sales didn't come, when people laughed at his idea, when self-doubt crept into his mind like a shadow. On those nights, he wanted to quit. But then he remembered his grandfather's voice. Failure is not the end. It is a lesson. Keep going. Little by little, his small business began to grow. What started as a single product sold to neighbors turned into online orders from different towns. Each step forward gave him courage. Each mistake taught him resilience. And soon, people who once doubted him began to respect him. Years later, when Ayan stood proudly outside his own shop, his heart swelled with gratitude. He thought of the boy who once wasted his days, the boy who nearly lost everything to distraction. If not for that one conversation, that one lesson about the jar of life, he might have remained stuck forever. But he had chosen discipline. He had chosen focus. He had chosen to believe in his dream, no matter how far away it seemed. And so, the boy who was once average proved everyone wrong. Not because he was the most talented, but because he never gave up. Because he learned to control his mind, because he finally understood the true value of time. My friend, this story is not just about Ayan, it is about you. It is about me. It is about every person who carries a dream inside but feels trapped by laziness, fear, or distraction. The truth is, success hides in daily habits. Small, simple steps taken every day shape your future more than any miracle ever could. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop wasting your life on sand. Start today. Write down your goal. Protect your time. Work with focus. Learn every day. And most importantly, never give up when you fall. Because one day, you'll look back and realize it wasn't luck, it wasn't talent, it wasn't miracles, it was discipline, it was patience. It was the quiet, daily decision to keep going, even when no one was watching. That is what shapes destiny.